Hello folks, so today I want to do something interesting and a little different. I think it's pretty widely understood that if you learn more languages, language learning becomes easier because you see how the grammar works, you see common cognates with your language. Just more knowledge makes your future knowledge easier. So I want to test that today and look at a few languages that I've never studied before that are related to ones that I know and see if I can understand them. So I looked at some novels and some textbooks for a few languages and I want to see if I can understand them without knowing anything from these languages. So let's go. First, I want to take a look at the Dutch language. Recently I watched a show with some Dutch in it, and it was interesting to me that I could recognize some things from English, a lot of things from German, and even without subtitles, there were some sentences that were 100% clear to me. So I'd like to see how well I can understand Dutch. So we're looking at this novel. It's from Die Ontdekking van de Himmel, The Discovery of Heaven by Harry Mulisch. And let's see what I know from here. De vanorde verbaste quint niet. I thought I was gonna know this. In die verte zag hij nog just de reusachtige engel op de top van het kast. Wow, I don't understand that. Okay. Okay, I understand that. Over Max werd niet meer gesprochen. But, over sounds like aber. So, but Max didn't want to speak anymore, or wasn't going to speak anymore. Anno vertelde over Edgar. He did something over Edgar die hem die laatste tijd gezelschap had gehouden. Did something last time community or company, because Gezelschap is definitely German Gesellschaft. Waarom heb jij hem Edgar genoemd? Why did you name him Edgar? Naar Edgar Allan Poe natuurlijk. After Edgar Allan Poe. I named him after Edgar Allan Poe. Die heeft een beroemd gedicht geschreven over een raaf. The only word I think I recognize was geschreven. That's probably written. Hij richtte zich op. Something himself up. Kijk in die ronde spiegel. He did something in the round mirror. Aan een spijker tegen de... What? En ik heb zo'n gevoel dat hij niet terugkomt. I did something that he didn't come back. Allebei voelden zij elkaars onzekerheid. Oh, onzekerheid, that's definitely insecurity. I feel like Dutch would be easier if my German was better. But there are moments that it's like obvious what was happening. So let me Google translate this and see. Okay, I wasn't too far. This exercise is one of those things that once you see the translation, you're like kicking yourself. Like, why didn't I think of that? Okay, what about another Germanic language, Norwegian? Kara, Erik, og Stian. That's probably Dear Eric and Stian. Tack for breath. Thanks for the letter. Hoppas allt står bra till med dere. I hope that everything is staying good there, over there. Det var hyggligt att få bilder av lille Lucas. It was something to take pictures of little Lucas. Because Oa clearly is going to be att in Swedish, so it introduces an infinitive. So it was something to take pictures of little Lucas. Det är inte till att tro att han allerede är 6 månader gammal. It is not to believe. Oh, it's unbelievable that he is already 6 months old. Han ser virkelig söt ut. That's obvious. He looks very cute. Jag gläder mig till att komma på besök och träffa honom. I feel like the context of the sentence is I'm looking forward to coming to visit and meeting him. Jag har faktiskt tänkt att ta en liten ferie i begynnelsen av juni. Begynnelsen? I, in fact, thought about taking a little ferry in the beginning of June. Jag hade tänkt att besöka henne enten för eller efter att jag besöker. I thought about visiting her something I visit there. Jag ska gå genom Trondheim på väg till henne once. I'm going to... Is you'll go or is that do? Because if it sounds like Swedish, it should be go. But in this context, we're talking about places. So he's gonna go through Trondheim? Igår var det 19 grader. Yesterday it was 19 degrees. Och det är sped over 20. And it is something over 20 degrees. Something. Det var första gången jag färdit 17th May i huvudet. It was the first time I celebrated the 17th of May in the capital, and I somethinged myself colossally. I enjoyed myself colossally. Hon inviterade mig till att se på tåget samtidigt. He invited me to see the train together with them. De har en dotter som gick i tåget. They have a daughter that goes in the train? I mean, that wasn't that hard, but was I accurate? I actually have a plan to take a little vacation early June. I wasn't that off. That wasn't that off. What about a romance language? Let's go with Catalan. Tindrim tom. What time is it? Quina ora hadit kesut el tren. At what time did he say the train leaves? I don't know what to say to him. Quest cap de setmana transit heist impossible. At what something of the week the commute became impossible. Above all, on the diagonal and on the... What is this in English? The circuit? No, the beltway maybe? I don't know. Como es posible que hagi tantos coches? How is it possible that he hagi? How is it possible that it took so many things? Poder aniria mes rapida pau no? Maybe something faster a little, no? Sí, y tant, pero y la maleta. Yes, that much. But, and in the hammer? I don't think it's hammer. Me sembla que la mejor opción será agafar el metro. It looks like the best option will be to something the metro agafar. I feel like I should know what that is. At which hour is the... Either that means flight or robbery. What hour is the robbery or what hour is the flight? I'm gonna go with flight. When we arrive at the autopiste, we'll be late something 20 minutes. Don't worry that we arrive on time, and when we arrive at the airport, I recommend that you go directly to Factuar l'équipage. I recommend you actualize your equipment. I don't know. Maybe that means check in. I don't know. Quant valdrá el taxi? Excuse me. How much does a taxi cost? I'm going to something a car. Lugar. I feel like it's perfect Spanish and I'm just stupid. I'm gonna something a car with some friends, and we're going to, again, anar. I don't know what anar is. We're gonna something an excursion for 1 week in the Pyrenees and in northern Catalonia. Okay, I feel like I wasn't that lost. Let's Google Translate. Okay, it's Catalan's not that hard. It's like somewhere between Spanish and French, so not that hard. What about Italian? I made a video where I tried to learn Italian. I don't think it went very well, and I don't remember anything from that time. So, La doppia vita del cinema italiano. The two lives of Italian cinema. Il cinema italiano. Italian cinema. In Italy, it's a thing seen from the outside is another. In Italy, in fact, 2 years of schizophrenia. Ani must not be here. 2 somethings of schizophrenia. From one part, the snobbish intellectual films. From the other, the serious comedies of comedians. Si sta affermando un filone vitale. I did not get a word of that. Sono arrivate They happen nelle sale con They happen something with great success. Alcune commedie allegre ma con stile. Something comedy to read con stile. Con stile has to be either with style or with a pen, and I'm thinking this is with style. Attori bravi e non gigioni come Oh, I can't understand a word of this. Oh, I'm confused. All'estero, from outside, soprattutto in Francia, especially in France, è comunque, it's common apprezzato, it's commonly something, the intellectual cinema. Oh, this is like harder than I thought. I expected Italian to be easy, but like I am confused. Let's translate that. Some light but stylish comedies have arrived in cinemas with great success. Okay, if I understand it at all, I'm not that far, but like the hard part is understanding how much things change. Okay, what about some Slavic languages? Let's look at Serbian. I feel like Serbian I can do really well. Studenti koji stanuju u studentskom domu. Students who stay in university dorms moraju da urede svoje sobe pre početka semestra. Can manage their something for the something semester. Okay, that's a lot of words I understood. Svaki student ima... Svaki would be всеки. So I think Serbian switched S and V, whereas in the neighboring Slavic languages, it's VS, which sounds really funny to me. It's a similar thing to how it's ask in standard English, but some people say ax, and they switch it. So I guess in Serbian, VS and SV switched. So every student has chimera i svaka studentkinja ima chimerku. Every male student has a something and every female student has a something. Dakle, I don't know what that is. On nameštaja svaka soba treba da ima dve krevete, dve pisača stola, dve lampe i dva mala tepi. Something. Every something has to have two beds, two somethings, two writing chairs, two lamps, and two small somethings. Okay, we're on to something. They're describing how students live. Okay. Svaki student donosi sa sobom svoju postelinju. Every student brings with himself their own layout. Soba se deli na tri dela. The soba, I don't know what a soba is, but it's divided into three parts. Jedna trećina do sobe je za pisače stolovi. 1/3 is for writing chairs and lamps. Druga trećina je za krevete. The other third is for beds, nadkasne i male tepihe. I don't know what those other two things are, but it's beds, something and something. A treći deo je zajednički prostor. And the third part is for communal something. Budići na svaki student, something for every student has 15 udžbenika. What is udžbenika? Studenti treba da uče prosečno 4 sata dnevno. Every student has to learn 4 hours daily. I think sata they're taking from Turkish saat, hour, which comes from Arabic, I think. U svojim sobama. So every student has to learn in total 4 hours in their soba. I don't know what their soba is. Okay, that wasn't that hard. What's the translation? Did I get that right? Students who live in a dormitory must clean their rooms before the beginning of the semester. Clean. I didn't get that. Okay. Serbian's not that bad for me. What about Czech? I feel like Czech's gonna be impossible to understand. Ahoj, Janičko, ko tu děláš? Oh. Hello, Janičko. What are you doing? Kdy ses vratila? What? Já jsem myslel, že seš i svý sestru v Brně. I thought you were something to your sister in Brno. Volala ale anekdotu nie brał. Ah, oh, okay. I didn't understand any of that, but the next one I get. Tak. Які то було? Як се ті там любило? Oh, how was it there? Did you like it there? I'm not understanding any of this. Pivo tam mají dobrý. The beer there is very good? I am not getting a word of this. Ivane, prosím tě. Ivane, I beg you. Buď tak hodný otvori okno. I can't understand any of this. What is the translation? So Czech is much harder than I expected. I would have chosen a language similar to Turkish, but my Turkish is not so good. And I would have tried an Asian language, but my Chinese is not very good. But knowing Korean and Japanese does not really help you with the different languages in China. So it was kind of useless to even try a sister language of Mandarin. There's no point. And Vietnamese is like, because they don't write in Chinese characters, I couldn't even guess what they're saying. I think that's that. I think we learned today that just because you learn a lot of languages doesn't mean that you'll instantly know things, but you can kind of get an idea of what's happening even if you don't study. So imagine if I do study and I can make these connections and see the patterns of cognates, maybe it would have been easier for me. You can follow me on the social medias. You can check out my website where I talk about language-related things. Leave a comment of what you thought. Is there any language that you can kind of understand when you read, but you've never learned before? Let me know in the comments. So I'll see you for another video very soon, alright? Bye-bye.